Word on the street is that Arby's is serving liquid roast beef. Can you identify which one is Arby's? If not, you might want to tune in so that you can make an informed decision next time you visit the drive-thru. To find the truth, we're benchmarking Arby's against great value packaged beef and premium boar's head from the butcher. Let's look at the data. So we begin the physical testing with sample A. As we secure the slide and drop the lens down to 40 times magnification, we get our first macro look at the tissue landscape. Even at this low power, look at the surface texture. You can see a highly organized grain pattern running diagonally across the screen. The material holds a very consistent, dense coloration across the entire field of view. So let's step it up to 100 times magnification. As we lock the objective into place and scan across the slide, those macro grains break down into highly distinct, long bundles of tissue. Notice how they all run in a uniform direction. This uniformity is a major data point. The boundaries separating each bundle are clean and sharply defined, with no signs of fragmentation or cellular tearing. Now let's push the optics to the limit of our dry lenses. 400 times magnification. At this depth, we are looking directly at individual muscle fibers. So look closely at the spaces between these parallel strands. Do you see it? The gaps are completely clean. There are no translucent gels, no uniform pastes, and no binding materials artificially packing the empty space between these cellular walls. This analysis to the absolute limit of light microscopy, we are applying immersion oil and looking in our 100 times objective lens. This gives us a total magnification of 1,000 times. So at this extreme depth, the field of view is completely dominated by a single muscle fiber bundle. So look at the sheer density of the biological material. Even under this intense magnification, the protein structures remain cohesive. We are looking for any microscopic signs of added soy protein, concentrates, non-meat binders, or chemical emulsions. In sample A, we see none of that. It is entirely solid, dense, cellular mass. So can you guess what this one is? On to sample B. So we clear the stage and load sample B. Right away at 40 times magnification, the visual data shifts. Unlike the highly organized grain pattern we saw in sample A, this tissue landscape looks disrupted. There are pale, almost translucent streaks interrupting the coloration of the beef. The overall density appears uneven across the field of view. So stepping this up to 100 times magnification, the reason for that unevenness becomes clear. Look closely at the muscle bundles. They aren't running in a clean parallel direction anymore. They look fractured, and they are separated by massive smooth gaps. In food processing, these empty-looking zones are where water, salt, and sodium phosphates have been ejected to bind with the meat and expand its physical volume. So let's push it up to 400 times mag and to see what is happening at the cellular boundaries. Notice how the edges of the muscle fibers look ragged and torn. Mechanical tumbling breaks down these cell walls so they can absorb extra moisture. In the gaps between the fibers, instead of a clean, empty space, we can see a faint glassy sheen. That is a retained water matrix, locked in place by chemical binders. Finally, we apply our immersion oil and lock in the 100 times objective lens for a total magnification of 1,000 times. At this extreme depth, look at the actual protein strands. They appear swollen and highly distorted compared to the solid mass of our first sample. This is what food engineering looks like. At the subcellular layer, cells literally is forced apart to hold fluid. So lock in your notes for sample B because next, we're loading our final mystery slide, sample C. Can you guess which one this is? So we clear the stage for our final mystery sample, sample C. Dropping in the slide now, and let's go to the optics to 40 times magnification reveals a highly unique hybrid landscape. It doesn't look like the completely linear grain of sample A, nor does it share the heavily fractured, streaky appearance of sample B. Instead, the surface appears remarkably smooth, almost polished, but with a faint structural grain still visible underneath. Let's step up to 100 times magnification to see what's causing this texture. So look closely at the field of view, you guys. We aren't looking at long, continuous muscle bundles here. Instead, we see distinct broken fragments of meat tissue. These fragments are completely suspended inside a highly uniform, dense background. It's clear structural compromise between solid muscle and a processed matrix. So let's push this into 400 times magnification the data becomes undeniable. Look at this specific zone right here. You can clearly identify the broken edges of genuine muscle fibers, proving this product originates from real muscle tissue. However, the empty spaces between these fibers are completely filled with a dense, glossy lake. This is a highly engineered protein and broth matrix designed to lock in maximum moisture and prevent the meat from drying out during the cooking phase. Finally, we apply our immersion oil and engage the 100 times objective lens for a final total magnification of 1,000 times. At this extreme depth, look at the boundary where the meat fiber meets the surrounding fluid. It is completely fused. The subcellular geometry has been structurally altered, utilizing sodium phosphates and seasonings to turn added liquid into a solid bound part of the meat mass. It isn't a completely emulsified paste, but it is highly engineered. The data collection is complete. Now, let's pull back, drop the blindfold, and reveal exactly which sample belongs to which brand. Okay guys, here it is. Which one is Arby's? Here is the complete data set. When we lock these three microscopic structures side by side at 100 times magnification, the visual contrast is undeniable. So look closely at the structural differences between them. We're looking at three completely distinct philosophies of food engineering using the exact same type of animal protein. So compare sample A directly to sample B. In sample A, the biological geometry is uniform. The muscle fibers run parallel and sit tightly together with zero filling materials packing the spaces. But look over at the sample B. The structural uniformity completely disappears. The cell walls are visibly fractured and they are forced apart by massive, clear gaps designed to hold artificial fluid weight. The tissue in sample B has been heavily manipulated to retain water. So now compare sample B to sample C. While sample B features large, empty-looking pockets of trapped fluid, sample C takes a completely different approach to moisture retention. In sample C, the muscle tissue is broken down into small, isolated fragments. These fragments aren't separated by empty water gaps. They are completely suspended in a dense, uniform, glossy lake of bound proteins and broth. Sample C isn't an unaltered muscle cut, but it isn't a completely structureless paste either. It sits right in an engineered middle ground. Three different slices of roast beef. One is premium boar's head from the butcher, one is great value pre-packaged, and one is Arby's. Now that you've seen the actual cellular data, let's step up to the board and drop the blindfold. If you guessed this was a premium boar's straight from the butcher counter, congratulations, your eyeballs work perfectly. Under the lens, this thing was a textbook piece of anatomy. Just pure, tightly packed muscle fibers, doing exactly what nature intended. No fillers, no chemical tricks, just actual unaltered steak cut into sandwich slices. This is the gold standard, but it also costs as much as a small car payment. Which brings us to sample B. This is great value, prepackaged roast beef. This is where the budget drops and the corporate food scientists clock in for overtime. Do you guys remember those massive, empty-looking oceans we saw through the tissue? That's not meat. That is literal chemical wizardry. They mechanically tumble this beef with sodium phosphates to force the cell walls apart, legally cramming up to 30% added water weight inside the package. You aren't just buying beef here, you're buying a highly complex salt water sponge. I know. Which means by a process of elimination, you guys figured it out, I know, sample C is Arby's. Now let's address the massive internet elephant in the room. For years, TikTok has sworn that Arby's arrives at the restaurant as a radioactive liquid paste or a synthetic gel bucket. Myth is officially busted, you guys. The microscope doesn't lie. Arby's isn't liquid beef. It's just beef that's been subjected to a serious liquid upgrade. It is real beef, but it's a highly engineered masterpiece. They suspend those meat chunks in a dense, glossy lake of broth and proteins so it can survive a literal apocalypse under the restaurant heat lamps and stay juicy when they slice it. It's not liquefied paste, but it's a beautifully engineered hybrid. Oh, if you want to know if McDonald's Chicken McNuggets beat out the frozen nuggets in your frozen grocery aisle, take a peek at that.
Don't forget to subscribe to see more truth. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself.